Hello there, it's Jen, the professional explainer, coming at you with another Wordy Wednesday, and today I want to talk to you about the importance of distribution in content marketing. Going back to, say, the mid-2010s, content and SEO were bosom buddies. Appearing highly in search was seen as the pinnacle of brand awareness, and content marketing was considered one of the most powerful tools to get your brand up there on page one in front of willing eyeballs. This is still largely true. The right content, using the right keywords and search awareness, is still great SEO practice, and I encourage you to continue it in line with the ever-changing search algorithm wisdom. Yet nowadays, the web is noisier than ever, and it's only getting noisier. Simply throwing your content out onto the web, even when search optimized to the nth degree, isn't enough to reliably get it under people's noses anymore. Especially for us SMEs who are competing for attention from potentially quite big industry names. It's a lot harder to achieve lasting results by just delegating your content distribution to Google or your search engine of choice. Put very simply, content is no longer a case of if you build it, they will come. Let's look at the current search situation with fresh eyes. The internet is, as I said, fuller than ever. So content about well-trodden subjects is going to rub shoulders in search results with countless other similar articles, especially if you're competing with bigger, more esteemed websites. Content about quite direct subjects, for example, definitions of terms, that don't allow for nuance or debate, are going to start appearing particularly samey. Google's algorithm is getting cleverer by the day too, and it looks at countless factors to work out where it's going to rank a website. Not just the on-page factors, not just content, not just technical factors. There's all sorts of things at play. In order to rank, small and medium-sized businesses need to get clever when it comes to keywords, identifying hyper-specific search terms, search intent and content gaps, which isn't always the easiest task when the best tools are often hidden behind quite hefty paywalls. And Google answers many search questions before you even click through, minimising much of the content's own brand awareness efforts. So what can we do to better ensure the distribution of our content, especially on a budget? Don't worry, because all is not lost. You can't talk about content distribution nowadays without discussing content formats. And you can't talk about content formats on the 2020s web without discussing social media platforms like Facebook and LinkedIn, or media sharing platforms like YouTube, TikTok and Spotify. But let's start from the top. Where do your audience hang out online? Where do they go to look for answers, insight, and that dreaded term thought leadership relating to your niche? Which spaces are buzzing with conversation about your specialist subjects? And who's dominating the conversation there at the moment? It might be a competitor. But how do you find all of this out? Lurk! Online, lurking isn't as shady as it sounds. Lurking is basically the act of being present within interactive online communities, but not as an active participant, just as an observer. If you have a hunch that competitors or clients in your niche are particularly present on a platform, sign up anonymously and check it out for yourself. Word to the wise here. When you're lurking, choose an anonymous username that doesn't have anything to do with your name or your brand. Why? Well, if you don't gel with that particular platform, or the buzz there isn't quite as buzzing as you believed, you won't be left with an empty, unprofessional looking profile that can be tied back to you or your brand. It'll just be another random in the pile. Just saying. Now we need to talk about content formats. Obviously, if you've identified a particularly vibrant, relevant community somewhere like YouTube or TikTok, then you're kind of destined to create video. If you don't mind that, then that's great. But if you do, there are still ways to be present there without showing your face or your voice or whatever's holding you back. Though be aware that creating that human connection does have massive potential. If you've identified an audience at a quote-unquote proper social media platform like LinkedIn, Facebook, X and so on, then you have a few more options. These sites are great all-rounders in terms of the things you can share: blog links, images, videos, links to podcasts and so on. So these more general social media platforms give you more flexibility in the content you can create and put out. So what content should you share there? Well, it's time to get your lurking pants on again and explore what types of content get the most engagement. Within your field and on that platform, do your audience tend to prefer text posts, images, links to blog posts, videos, linked to podcasts, or something else entirely? Perhaps a format that's unique to that platform. This should give you some insight into what content formats may be the best to share and where. Next comes a few practicalities. How are you going to create the content and put it out there? This is an important factor as it can influence some of the bits we've already established. Time is an essential consideration when beginning or revamping a content journey, especially for small or medium-sized businesses with limited resources. Which kinds of content do you have time to create and do so with regularity? And which type of content is going to cause you the least disruption to create, considering your other roles and responsibilities? We all work differently too, so there are other practicalities there. Some folks like to think things out carefully and maybe communicate using the written word and perhaps using a format that can be easily edited and updated over time. So blogging would be a natural choice for them. Other folks who may have dyslexia or simply can't afford to be tied to a keyboard for hours on end may be better off recording more off-the-cuff podcasts or videos, provided they have the equipment available to create a polished result. Which brings us nicely to which content formats are you best set up to create. If you have audio or video recording equipment available, you'll naturally be in a better place to create more multimedia content than someone without. And perhaps most importantly, what content formats do you want to create? If you don't vibe with making a particular type of content, say you don't want to appear on video, then don't force it. I'd encourage you to give it a go, but you don't have to post the results. And remember that outsourcing content creation to a content marketer like me, or a video producer or an audio producer is always an option if you have the budget. That's it from me for today. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all of the YouTube things, and thank you for watching.